Alright, I know it's been a while since I've done a Pokemon related video on the channel, but I think an episode that was released about 3 weeks or so was the first appearance of Guzma, the leader of Team Skull in the Sun and Moon anime, obviously in Japan. It'll be a few weeks, if not a couple months, until it airs in the US, but the reason I'm doing this video is because of some concerns I have. Now, I remember way back when Sun and Moon first started, I was skeptical about the tone of the series, if they did have a Pokemon League, which I never really doubted, but my thing was, I don't know how I would feel if Ash was the first winner of the Alola League because of the fact that the league had just been established as opposed to a league that has been going on for decades. There's already an established Elite Four, a champion, so Ash would have to battle his way to the top. But to battle his way through a league that is literally fresh off the presses, it almost felt like Ash would be winning a rough draft instead of a final copy, so to speak, especially after making it to the finals of the Kalos League in X, Y, and Z. And we had the official announcement from Professor Kukui that the Alola League is happening once the stadium is finished and everything, which, for lack of a better phrase, I was a bit excited, but at the same time, I did hear rumors that, the X, Y, and Z, not rumors, but confirmation of several weeks ago that the series is ending this year, obviously because Sword and Shield will be coming out towards the end of 2019. And I'm happy for a change because the Sun and Moon anime has been actually better than I expected from when it first came out. I remember the first set of 40 some episodes, I guess it's season 1 according to the DVDs and Netflix, a lot of filler, but the story is actually pretty decent. But I'm just ready for a change. I'm more used to Ash traveling around a region as opposed to going out to a couple of locations. Okay, let's go back to school, and then we'll go out again and then go back to school. It didn't feel like a real journey. It's more like Ash is on vacation as opposed to going out on the journey, which, I mean, sometimes change is good, but I just felt like, someone like Hal would eventually show up, or Gladion, who we're talking people who, for, I believe, in terms of their journey, they've actually been going around Alola like you do in the games, or like Ash should have been doing, as opposed to, again, being restricted to the school. I'm not saying that he hasn't went out on his own a couple of times, which he has, but it just feels like we're hitting the reset button every time he goes out and goes back to the school, as opposed to going out on a journey. He is training, but at the same time, I just like the idea of Ash traveling and training, catching new Pokemon, battling trainers as he progresses through the gyms, or in this case, the Grand Trials, getting the badge or whatever the case may be for whatever region before going to the league. But in this situation, I feel like he's woefully unprepared for this. I mean, he doesn't even have a full team of 6. I mean, depending on if you're watching the Japanese or American version, we know for a fact his core 4 Pokemon, Pikachu obviously, Lycanroc, Rowlet, who most likely will never evolve due to swallowing an Everstone, which it can spit up for Seed Bomb, and he has Torracat, which I have no doubt that Torracat will most likely fully evolve by the league time. And recently he caught Meltan, which is actually pretty cool. So, I mean, will it evolve? I don't know, but I wonder if he'll transfer Pokemon from Professor Oak's lab. I don't doubt that, due to the fact that, he's been to Kanto again. Misty and Brock have shown up a couple times, so I think it might not be a bad idea for him to actually call in some of his old recruits to battle in the league, because due to the league coming up pretty soon, I don't think the writers will just throw in a 6 Pokemon without developing it first. So I think it will be safe to say Ash will be going with old recruits along with his Alola team, unless Poipole comes back from the Ultra Beast world or whatever, and it's evolved or something, and it wants to battle with Ash, maybe, but I highly doubt that. So in terms of this video, what I'm nervous about is the fact that Kukui mentioned that the Pokemon League is open to anyone, and I think that is one of the dumbest things ever done in Pokemon. What I mean by this is, if anyone can enter, I think even Guzma made this statement at the Pokemon League, there's no point in entering just a bunch of weaklings wasting time and battling each other. And when he said that, I couldn't have agreed more, because you have people like, no offense to any fans, but like Lily, Socrates, and all these other, I think that's it, Sophocles, whatever his name is, to do with the Vikavolt, Togedemaru, but all these people who haven't even done trials yet. So you have Joe Smo on the streets who can battle in the league, and it's just ridiculous, because it makes it seem like, what's the point of Ash going through all these trials and these tough battles when next thing you know, he could probably lose from to someone who's never been in a formal battle in their life. I mean, stranger things have happened on this show, and this is just making me mad. I mean, you could make the argument, well, you never know, maybe the top 4 will be like Hal, Gladion, Ash, and some other trainer. That's absolutely true, but I just feel like Ash is probably not going to win this one. You could make the argument, well, if he uses old Pokemon, then he can definitely beat trainers who are just entering for the sake of entering. And the fact that we have people who can just enter out of nowhere reminds me of the several tournament arcs, the Club Explosion and whatnot, the Don George tournaments in the Black and White series, where it was common that Ash, Silent, Iris would enter, then their rivals Stefan, Burgundy, Bianca, Georgia, they would all enter as well. And the tournaments for the most part would kind of be boring, because, you know, it's just nameless trainers filling in empty slots, and then they would just be beaten off screen or something like that. It just seems empty to me. Like, what's the point of taking the hard route when a ton of people are taking the easy way, and then they might end up winning? Because I have this gut instinct that Ash will probably lose to a last minute entrance. When I mean that is a character who just comes out of nowhere. For all we know, Tobias probably traveled to Alola just to screw Ash over one more time like he did in the Sinnoh League, but hopefully that's not the case. So I don't want to count the Pokemon League for Alola out, but the fact that anyone can enter has me very discouraged. Hell, even Team Rocket wants to enter the tournament, and let's be real here, if Beware entered the tournament, it's game over. Beware, not Team Rocket, but Beware takes the crown. And I mean, Team Rocket does have Z moves, and Mimikyu is pretty powerful. So if it is, okay, let me put it this way. As much as I'm against the whole anybody can enter thing, I would be glad to see Team Rocket in legitimate battles as opposed to selling things at a concession stand. But then again, I could see one of them running the concessions while the other is on the battlefield, and, you know, actually winning a few rounds as opposed to just trying to steal Pokemon and failing. Let's have them in some competent battles. I would like to see that. But with that being said, you know, I don't want to rant too much on this, because maybe as the league time progresses, what I would like to see is Ash branching out on his own, even if not all the other students at the school. That way it's not all buddy. It's like, look, the league is about to come up. I think we've learned a lot at this school. What we all need to do is go on our own training journeys for a little bit and then meet up at the league. That way the other members will get new Pokemon, because some of them only have 1 or 2, if not 3 or less. Because what? Lily, I think, only has Snowy, the Vulpix. Mallow has Bond Sweet's full evolve form. Socrates has Togedemaru and Vikavolt. Kiawe has Marowak, Turtonator, and Charizard, if you count it. I mean, it did use a Z move, so I will count it as the third. So you can tell that most of them probably won't make it past the first round if they only have 1 Pokemon. So typically the league is what? 1-on-1 battles, then 3-on-3, then full battles or double battles depending on the region. So I definitely don't see a lot of them making it past round 1, because once again, it's like this is a tournament open to anyone. So you're probably going to have some inexperienced trainers in there who will just easily be one-shotted, but we'll just have to wait and see. So honestly, I don't see Ash winning the league. I think it is ridiculous that anyone can enter, unless they, you know, not anyone who has completed the trials or anything. There's no real set prerequisite. So I don't really have a lot of high hopes. But with that being said, you know, let me know your thoughts. I'm just one guy. Maybe you love the idea, but who knows? Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Congratulations on making it to the end of this video. If you like what you just saw, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, or if you have anything you would like to add to the video, make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you want to keep up with me on social media, go to the description box. All of my links for social media are right there. Also, if you feel like you would like to donate to the channel, make sure to click on the link to PayPal. Any amount helps, $1, $5, $20. As a full-time YouTuber, any support from my fans really does mean a lot to me. Finally, make sure to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon. That way you're kept up to date on any new content I post to the channel. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you in the next video.